Are dancing. We're voguing in as usual. This is how everyone should start a Sunday morning. Here's to you, my friend.
Absolutely. Cheers.
Cheers and welcome back to the Unhinged Hygienists. See, I think a happy coffee cup is very important. And this is my favorite one because this is such a happy sunshiny color. So this is always my Monday cup, but it's also my I'm happy to be with my friend Tasia cup.
I love that. I just have this cup. Nothing too exciting. But
next week, I'll have the one that you made me for my birthday.
I also have my electrolytes because I feel like I'm not getting enough of them. And I have my Michigan whiskey cup.
I love that for you. And we're drinking out of glass. That way we don't get plastic contamination. So that's good for us.
Very true.
Look at us being happy and healthy and wealthy and wise. At least
it's a struggle, but we do our best, you know?
Yes, we do.
But
so, all right. Welcome back. Here we are.
Today's episode, I think, is going to be a pretty good one.
Today's episode is going to be us being raw and vulnerable and really talking about, it's going to be a feelings episode, people. Spoiler
feelings. Alert. Nothing.
La, 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 la. La, la.
But today we're going to talk about something that every healthcare provider has experienced at some point in their career.
Today's topic is imposter syndrome.
Dun, dun, dun. Or as I like to call it,
being objectively qualified and still somehow feeling like you don't belong in the room.
Yeah. Which is really ridiculous when you think about it, given our credentials and everything we've done.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like we walked out of school and didn't have all of the experience, right? I mean, you think about your clinic time and you think about how many times you've been checked and then your board exams and whatever. Like, you don't have some firefighter who gets out of firefighter school and shows up at this like 5-alarm fire with a hose in his hand is like, oh my God, am I really qualified to do this? No, that dude believes in himself. That person went to school. They got the hose. You know what? We went to school. We got the scalers. We got the knowledge. We need to believe in ourselves.
Could you imagine, though, like the amount of pressure that comes out of that hose? Could you imagine me and you trying to use that hose? I just had a visual.
We'd get like a cartoon. We'd be all floppy. So it'd blast us away. So yeah, exactly. That would be pretty funny. Like maybe that's why they have to wear such heavy outfits so they actually stay on the ground.
Now I feel like I want to try that.
Dude, there has to be somewhere where we could try a fire hose.
And we'll videotape it and we'll show everyone.
Like here in Vegas, I could go drive a tank. So there's got to be somewhere where I can, whack around with a fire hose.
That's right.
We're going to work on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But meanwhile, hygienists, and I don't think it's just healthcare providers in general, but we're going to talk about ourselves right now. Yeah. We have degrees, we have licenses, certification, so much years of continuing education and experience.
And yet we apologize. And yet we shrink ourselves. And yet we feel like we don't belong there. So that is what we're going to get to the bottom of today. And I think Tasia and I are definitely going to delve into our own personal experiences. And this is going to be an interesting one that I really hope people comment on, because I think we all feel this, whether you're a hygienist or a average Joe, anything. Like, I had a really fabulous conversation with a friend just yesterday that is a high-powered, like, C-suite executive who even she has this every once in a while. And it's like, we're people, right? Yeah. And I think people look at the social media, they look at the podcast, the speaking, the educational platforms, the stuff that we do, and assume that you and me and everyone out there who's doing these things that we admire and we actually watch, that they're all just naturally confident, and it came with that.
No.
I don't
it's a skill.
That's true.
I think it's a skill that
it is a skill.
You learn. You don't just, and some people might. I don't know. I'm not that person. And I'm learning slowly that, you don't have to be like everyone else.
No, you do not.
You have to be authentically you. People like the raw. People like the unpolished. People like
That's why
hearing your story, your journey, because I could sit here and wait until I'm ready to do everything that I want to do, but I don't think that's what people want to see. I think people want to see your struggle, your journey, because I think everyone goes through that at some point in their life, and it's nice to see other people go through that and be like, hey, I can relate to you.
We're doing it in real time. Yeah. This whole experience, this is episode, 7, we are learning. Like, it just took us
8.
48, sorry, episode 8, excuse me. I
We're
don't
we're
mean to
doing
diminish it. But I mean, we're still learning. Like, it took us a
Yeah,
half an hour to figure out our sound today. So
yeah,
this is real and honest. And I think that that's the joy, right? And I think the painful lessons are the ones that we have to work through. If we just had it all handed to us, it wouldn't be valuable. It wouldn't be something we could then teach
no,
because who knows where this is going to take the unhinged hygienists. You and
exactly.
I have some big plans for the
We
where we
do.
can scale all of this
Mhm.
and how we can continue to help expand our, ripple effect. That's what we're here to do. So,
Yep,
and I think today is important for us because we've questioned ourselves. We've wondered, do I belong in this room? Like, even starting this podcast, we were like, who wants to listen to us? We're just two goofy hygienists. But then it's gotten a lot of positive feedback. So,
yep.
and all we ever say is if we can help one person, um, I think that's
But
what we're doing here.
and not everyone starts believing in
No.
themselves. I'm still going through that process
Yeah.
because, like, even after our last episode with one of our guests, I called Lauren and I, like, had a little mini meltdown.
I don't like your meltdowns are beautiful and vulnerable and gorgeous because that's growth. You
Yeah,
were never allowed to do that. We talked
no.
in your episode about you. Like, you grew up a certain way where you had to squash that shit, bro. Like,
Mhm.
you're not allowed to have any feelings. So,
Yeah.
and
Or just talk about, this is what I want.
yeah,
There wasn't a lot of space for that. So it's
yeah,
almost like my communication, I don't feel is where it should be.
it will. It's
And
fine.
I have people tell me otherwise, but
Mhm.
maybe I should rewatch this episode multiple times after this is
We're gonna
done
instill some
because
positive pew, we're gonna put into there, pew,
yeah,
like, we're gonna hypnotize you. This is you feeling more confident.
yeah.
This is
Because
you believing in yourself.
right, we
Yeah.
don't have to be like everyone else, and that's what's beautiful. We
No,
have to
that's
be
the whole point.
ourselves, you
You and
know,
I are not like anyone, and that's on purpose.
you
It's
know.
beautiful. So, anyone who wants to feel like they can, start perfect, no way. That's not it's so far from the truth, from what we do, from where you and I are, from our even our people. So, I mean,
And there's
yeah,
growth and failure. You're not going to learn unless you fail.
correct.
What worked, what doesn't, and then you keep
Failure is
moving
still
forward.
growth. Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, because nothing and this is I mean, I bring everything back down. It always comes down to food. And it's like you had to eat something first to love it, and you had to create a recipe in order to peanut butter and jellies didn't just fall out of a tree, you know, whatever. But
Yep.
and I think the people that think that it starts perfectly, it's not even close, right?
No.
So I know as we're creating webinars, it's scary as we're teaching people. It's scary. It can be
Yeah.
downright terrifying sometimes. Like the first time that I did a myofunctional case outside of the school that I was taught in, it was also terrifying. This podcast, also kind of frightening.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we all start somewhere.
Yeah. Because I feel like people might see us and assume that, we're talking into these
Mhm,
microphones and we're so confident. And I
mhm.
feel like we do show that to the world
Yeah.
for the most part. But meanwhile, half the time I'm over here, like, seriously questioning everything I'm going to say. Like, is it coming out articulate enough? Do I sound smart? Sometimes
Mhm.
I'm not good with the words that I use. Like, I feel like my vocabulary is limited. I don't know why, but maybe it's just me. I don't know. But I question literally everything and then I rewatch it and then I'm like, oh, but then
Yeah,
other
like it
people
was
tell me,
great.
like, you're fine. And I'm like, well,
Yeah.
God, I wish I could see that because I need to work on that confidence. And
Mhm. Yeah. Confidence is a funny thing, right? So, like, sometimes it's confidence and courage are literally doing the thing you are the most scared of and just heading right into it and being like,
yeah,
you know what? I'm going to build these wings as I fall.
yeah,
And I think that's beautiful. This story and how we feel, we're not original in this. We're not the only ones that are feeling the way we feel.
no,
It's the same as we're the person who is thinking for the people in the class, right? You
yeah.
and I were the people who would raise our hands in class because we would hear people asking the question who were scared to do it. We're the
Mhm.
first people on the dance floor. I'm the first person to, no, because we have to have we are confident or weird enough or unhinged enough that we actually are like, you know what? We'll figure it out. We'll
Yeah,
figure it out. So, and I honestly don't think that imposter syndrome is a personality thing. I think it can be really professional. For me, it
yeah.
goes it goes deep. Like it's a deeper thing that has a lot to do with where we came from. But yeah.
I agree with that because I feel like in my personal life,
Mhm.
it's not so much of an issue.
Hmm,
Professionally, very different because,
nice.
you see other people who've already have become established and you see how great like their social media presence is, all the things they've done. And it's also a little intimidating because it's like I want to get there, but then I'm like, I'm not there yet. So
Yeah. They
you worry
started at
like what
0
are
too.
people gonna think about you, how you're presenting
Yep.
yourself. And it's like, you know what? Who cares?
Yeah.
Hey, Tasia, did you hear yourself say that?
Play this part back. Play
Who
this part back and
cares
hear it
what
over.
other people think?
Exactly.
You
Who
need to
cares?
be true and authentic to yourself.
You. Because you're the only you ever have to deal with, and
Yeah.
so what Joe Schmo over here thinks really doesn't have your I always love that quote, "Your opinion of me literally has nothing to do with me."
No. Yeah. Because your opinions don't pay my bills.
No. Well, and your opinions are based on your own perception
Yeah.
and your own reality. You're not me. I'm
Yeah.
not you. Like,
No.
it doesn't even matter how close you and I are. Like, I can't, my opinion shouldn't matter. It's like, what do you feel inside? And
Yeah.
that's where I think all of this is the discussion.
Mhm.
And I think for us personally, did it start? Is it background thing? Is it, whatever. So
Yeah. For
that's
me,
where we
it
want to get
started
to today.
way before dentistry for sure.
Yeah. Same.
Way, way before.
For sure.
Because I think when you've experienced childhood trauma, which I have not gotten into, and that's something that I feel like at some point I do, because I feel like I've always wanted to share that story because it could help somebody. But
Mhm.
I've experienced some serious childhood trauma, difficult relationships, situations where your voice was never heard.
Mhm.
I've had situations where it's like I was the youngest in my friend group. And a lot of times, like, I'd go to my friends' houses and like their cousins would be over and they were like all like four guys. And I was like five. And I was always picked on, locked in closets because I was the youngest one, right? So, but if they had known, like doing that to me at that point with everything else that I was dealing with, the fact that I'm here right now is pretty flippin' amazing. So,
Yes.
um,
Absolutely.
I don't want to cry because it was a lot. So I guess when your voice isn't heard, it's like your brain gets wired differently, right?
Mhm.
You
Yeah.
start questioning yourself. You start wondering if you're smart enough, good enough, articulate enough, qualified enough.
Yeah.
But it's like I was reading something yesterday. It's like your body is almost like a hiking trail. It's what it knows
Hmm.
and it follows that path of self-doubt. But it's up to you to kind of get out of it. And it's hard because it's like you're changing so much, but you have to
Yeah,
kind of get off that path and rewire your brain out of that cycle of self-doubt.
that's true. I think and that's what's scary about the past traumas and how you just learn to not trust yourself anymore.
Yeah.
And then
Mhm.
if you already can't trust the people around you and then you can't trust yourself, I think that's where we get really lost. And you start kind of looking around for new sources of trust.
Yeah. 'Cause then you start comparing yourself to
Mhm.
everyone else. Like I said, it's like, they're doing this, they're doing it so well,
Mhm.
like, I can't do that. Why can't you do that? Why is she a better speaker? He's a better speaker. Why do they sound more confident or more polished, articulate? They're using words that I don't even know are in my vocabulary, but damn it, I would like for them to be. Like, why can't I speak like that?
Mhm.
But I don't have to,
Nope.
right?
No, you don't have to. No, because why do you we're the whole reason you and I are here and the whole reason we are unhinged is because our purpose in this podcast was to not be like everybody else.
No.
Because if somebody wanted something more polished, something with a bigger vocabulary, something where it actually stayed on track and didn't goof around and find 17 tangents in one subject matter, they would go to some other beautiful polished podcast and there is room for that. That's the beauty is there's 330 million Americans. There's 8 billion, humans on the planet. And we're going to touch somebody who
Mhm.
needed to hear this.
Yeah.
Somebody who is thinking the exact same thing. Like what we're talking about right now, how we feel this imposter syndrome. Somebody's watching our podcast and going, Tasia and Lauren have imposter syndrome? Then I can do this too. And that's the whole thing is, I mean, I'll never forget when I was putting a webinar together and I had one of my really good intelligent mentor friends go over it and she was like, "Listen, I still have imposter syndrome, and I'm on a stage tomorrow,
Mhm.
and it never stops. And so I think that the crazy part about us having this feeling is exactly there is someone on the other side of this video and this microphone feeling the same thing.
Yep. Because none
So
of it's really reality. It's just this fake
no,
reality you've created in your
nope,
brain, and
it's
it's
a story.
just
Hmm.
what it knows.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a story your brain has learned to tell you over and over again because no one's broken that cycle.
Well, and the beauty of what we're doing here, and maybe we're just working this out in real time right here. This is like psychology 101. If you and I tell each other this every single week, it's the whole like, damn it, you're good enough, you're smart enough, and people like you. Because if we knew, and what you just said is really profound, it's a wiring and it's a story, it's this programming. With the beauty in that and the recognition in that is that you can undo it. You
Yeah.
can undo it and you can reprogram it. And this is exactly what we're doing. Like, even for hygiene, we didn't know how to automatically have the muscle memory to make a 204S do exactly what we
Yeah.
wanted to do. It was muscle memory, and
Yeah.
that's what this is too. And that's why every single episode we get better, we get smarter, and then we talk about these things. And we're going to meet the coolest people, and we're purposely not going to be the smartest person in the room because you don't grow that way.
Yeah.
And there are going to be days where you and I are going to go, "What did they just say? We have no idea. Please
Mhm.
run that back again. Help me make this thing better." So I
And there
think
might
that,
be something that we say that we might not think is that big of a deal, but has made a big impact and a
yeah,
big deal in someone else's life. So
that is our goal. I genuinely hope that you and I help somebody. That's our goal. Like, yeah, this is fun. And you and I really like, chatting. And this gives us a good reason because we're across the country
I
from each
know,
other. But
which is
I
so
miss
great.
you.
I
And
know
we're
this
going to
this
do some
is
in person
yeah.
videos
Yeah.
soon.
Yeah.
Um, but I think that if we can help whoever is on the other end of this right now in any way, whether it's in the op, if it's in your personal life, if it's starting a podcast, if it's anything, everything is conditioning and rewiring. And, if our brain is this beautiful, flexible thing that makes us bark when we see leaves go by, it's,
So
I can't,
yeah.
I have 4 dogs,
Woo.
people. And my the fact that mine aren't doing any noise right now, I think I'm just waiting for, like, an Amazon package, and they will go nuts,
Yeah.
so be
Yeah.
ready. So, anyway, all right, let's get back on track with our squirrel.
Oh, Lord. So I know for me, like my brain goes into like complete overload.
Mhm.
Um, I get very overwhelmed. I think too, because like right now I am working full time. I had cut off my Fridays to like be able to have more time to like build this and do other things that I want. But then I looked at my credit card debt and stuff, and I was like, God flippin' damn it, Tasia. Now you got to work some freaking Fridays.
But you're
Okay.
living your life,
But it's
this
fine.
is
It's
yeah,
about time management that I
yeah.
have never had to deal with before. So it's just,
Mhm.
figuring that out. And it's a lot. But
Yeah.
that also goes into service, service, nervous system regulation
Oh,
because my
okay.
nervous system is shot to like utter hell.
Yeah,
Okay. So,
yeah.
like, I get super overwhelmed. I overthink everything. I like always second guess myself,
Mhm.
always since God knows the beginning of my birth. I question everything as like my brain gets so overwhelmed because I have self-diagnosed ADHD. I am a Gemini as well. Like my brain does not shut off.
When you're
And
healing still, your
I am
vagus nerve
healing.
is on fire,
Yeah, no.
and your bucket is full.
It's overflowing full,
Yeah,
but and I'm doing this because this is something I've always wanted to do and something that I
yeah.
would have never done in the past, but I'm here and it's just hard because like I get so overwhelmed and I have all these ideas and then it's like my brain just shuts down. Like I shut down. I almost like I get sick
Dude, I know exactly what you're talking
and
about.
not just like inside, like it manifests. Like I have brain fog, nausea, dizziness, a lot of weird shits going on. I'm waiting for my blood work to come back. I almost fainted during my blood work. Okay, fine, 15 vials, but I've never almost fainted during blood work before, so that
It's a
was
lot
weird.
of blood, but it's the whole
So
story.
I'm curious because yeah, I need to get this under control, but it is a process and it's going
Mhm.
to take some time, but at least I am aware because some people are in denial. I am
Yeah,
not that person. I acknowledge when I'm out of alignment and then I try to figure myself out and say, okay, to see like what is happening, what can you do? Let's
yeah.
work on that.
Yeah.
Does it
And
always
I
happen?
think
No, but I try.
what you just said was really, I think, profound for what I heard was your body manifests what's happening inside of you. And I think that a lot of us don't have the grace to recognize that and step back and say, you know what? I do need to go for a walk. I do need to regulate. I do need to do this. As our friend Nella loves to say, she's outside of her window of tolerance. And when
Mhm.
you can just frame it, it's okay to say no to something or to step back or do whatever. And especially when you're physically healing,
Yeah.
and if your nervous system gets shot, if you had a hard day at work and then you almost got in a car accident and then the dog was barking and the kids have 17 activities, like where are you ever supposed to come back down?
Mhm.
And so I think that that makes sense when the brain gets into overload. Like,
Yeah.
and yeah,
Yeah. I spiral. And even yesterday, because I was like, all right, I was looking up. I'm like, nervous system regulations. I need this. Let's figure this out.
yeah,
Ground yourself, Tasia. Ground yourself.
yeah.
I don't like bugs. Okay. But I brought out my yoga mat and I'm like, I'm going to go lay out. There is sun in Michigan. Oh my God. I'm
Take
going
it
to
when you
go
can get it.
lay in it in my pajamas, rolled them up, and I laid there listening to like nervous system meditation. 5 minutes later, my legs were covered in bugs and I said, F this shit. I'm done. Then I started looking on Amazon. We are going to get ourselves one of those grounding mats, is what we're going to
See,
do
there
because
you go.
I'm not doing that. I
That
don't
was a
want
good effort.
ticks.
That was,
I
oh, you guys
Lyme
do have
disease. I don't want
ticks.
any of that stuff. So I will
Mm-mm, good.
hug a tree.
I'm proud of you though. You tried because
I
your
did.
grass in Michigan is so nice. That's people think I'm so weird when I leave Vegas and I go somewhere and I'm like, hold on, I need to touch the grass. Like I don't see grass here. So,
No, it was
but
unmowed, so it was like very long. So maybe Chris is
oh,
mowing it right now. So I'm going to try again. Round two. I'll keep you posted.
okay, good luck. They make grounding shoes and stuff too. Those are very neat. I had a patient with
Interesting.
them the other day. They've got like a little circle. If anyone listening to this has anything to do with these grounding
Yeah,
shoes
please
or
let
has
me
a
know.
subject matter about grounding,
Yeah.
we would love to learn about that.
Because I didn't
Bec-
even know about grounding mats till yesterday, really. I looked it up and I was like, I didn't even know that was a thing. But they have like the long ones you can put on your bed too, but you can
yeah.
also do yoga on them.
That's nice because you have to have the points of contact. Like,
Yeah.
we bought the grounding sheets, and you have to get really good ones, and then you have to be thoughtful about how you clean them because it's silver fibers in there, right? And it's
Mm,
literally plugged into the neutral, thing of your
so
electrical.
amazing.
It's
Yeah.
amazing. But I mean, it makes sense, right? Because we're supposed to be in tuned to
Hmm.
this whole, earth frequency and whatever. I'm a hippie people. Like, I've got the frequency thing. I've got it in my ears. It goes at whatever tone it
Yep.
is. And, I'm trying to do all this because
Yep.
the issue that I think you just hit on is that all of this is not just physical or professional or whatever. Like, it's mental
Yep.
and it's physical and it's professional. It's all these
Yep.
things and it
Emotional,
manifests. And
spiritual,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
all of it.
So we
And
have to work on it
yeah,
holistically.
because when you don't, I feel like eventually there comes a point, and I'm there, your body starts paying the price. And,
Yeah.
you don't
Yeah.
want to completely spiral out of control.
No, because I mean, because when your tip buckets over, when your bucket tips over and you can't think straight because your brain goes, "Kick, kick," then you have to realign. So
Yep.
I think that what we'll make today about is healing imposter syndrome isn't only about becoming confident. It's 100% about healing those core beliefs underneath it.
Hmm.
So we're going to focus, and that's like grounding. Okay, so you went core source, you went internal nervous system, and great, let's connect. And I don't think there's anything wrong with trying all these different methods because
No.
every human is different, and that's why there is something different. I'll
Yeah.
bring that back to toothpaste. Look at the toothpaste aisle. We can't even decide on Crest or Colgate or David's or Hello or Tom's or whomever. Try everything until you find something that makes you feel better. And, you know, whatever our story is from our personal life. And then for us, we add the complexity of dentistry and our dental life to that. And
Yeah.
that might be our ceiling that we hit.
Especially hygiene because
Hmm.
we're on all the time.
Hmm.
You
Yeah.
can't just fall into your own emotions of what you're
Yeah.
dealing with. You're working with patients. You're
Mhm.
almost like a therapist, a psychologist. You're constantly on, and it's
Yeah.
exhausting.
Yeah. I
Like,
don't think
I come
people really
home and I
realize
don't
that.
wanna talk for, like,
Right.
20 minutes. Sometimes I drive in silence.
You're lucky you have a little farther ride, but I think I try to explain that we have a very client-facing profession.
Mhm.
So, you and I have to shut off whatever happened. So, if you're not feeling well that day, if your nervous system's dysregulated, if you ran over a squirrel on the way to work, I mean, whatever,
Yeah,
whatever happened to just throw you off, it doesn't matter. And
yeah,
then and then that kind of comes in, and then I think part of what's going on is we hygienists are literally trained to work beneath
yeah.
somebody. And it's hard because we're constantly like bridled, right? We're underneath doctors. We're underneath production goals. We're underneath insurance requirements. And then we're underneath these patient expectations for us to be like, "Hi, Mrs. Jones, how are you? Of course I have all the answers to everything, and you're never going to bleed again, and you'll never have tartar again." So
Yeah,
then what?
and then you start shrinking yourself. I think you start to shrink
Yeah.
physically as well.
Yeah, well, hopefully. And I think that then what happens is not only do you shrink yourself for all these other people, you almost shrink your own brain. It's that whole going back and doubting ourselves, right? So now we stop saying what's in front of us. And I
Yeah,
feel like we're almost gaslighting ourselves. Is this actually periodontal disease? Is that actually something I need to report? What am I looking at here? And so we stop saying what we see
yeah,
clinically because we doubt ourselves.
and I'm
Mm-mm.
sure we all have done it,
Hmm.
and there's no judgment because 'cause we've all done it. You
Yep.
soften treatment recommendations,
Yep.
it's almost I don't know, it's like we've been trained to do this. It's like,
Hmm.
"Oh, you have, like, one area of 5 millimeter pockets, but we're
Yeah.
not gonna do anything
Yeah.
because,
Yeah.
we'll just watch that until if it's worse next time, we'll do it then."
Yeah. Well,
Why? Why
because
do
we're
we feel
avoiding
like that?
uncomfortable conversations. Why is it an uncomfortable conversation? It's the reality. Like, hey, sorry, we didn't
Yeah,
make this. You
yeah,
brought it to us and you trust us to show you the way, right? So I don't think, and this is what stinks about it. Like, how do we undo this? Like,
yeah,
it should not be fact, it's fact based. It should not be an uncomfortable
mhm,
conversation.
and I think we've all done this,
Yeah,
so I'm
of
not
course we have.
pushing blame on everyone, but now that we're
No,
trying to shift
we're
into being
noticing
healthcare
patterns.
hygienists and
Yeah,
know better and treat patients
yeah.
and help them heal, it's like now it's like you go into an office where everyone's been treated a specific way for decades. Or the doctor is old school and has just been there has been no perio charting, there's
Mm-hmm.
been no perio anything, and now you come in and you're like, "You have periodontal disease."
How
And
come no
that's
one's ever
where,
told me that?
you sound dramatic,
Or difficult. Oh,
difficult,
yeah,
dramatic, like,
yeah,
"I've never had a problem, it's
yeah,
you." No, no,
yeah.
sir or miss, it's and I've told patients, like, they've some of them and I sometimes, as you will see, I'm unfiltered, and this is why we're unhinged, but I
Mhm.
I I go into it with patients, I do not care. I feel like some of them like it. I don't know if it's the New York in me, but it'll come out, and some of them do appreciate it after,
Yeah,
but I've
some do.
told people, I'm like, "I'm sorry," they get angry with me, and I'm like, "I didn't put 6 millimeter pockets in your mouth.
Mhm.
You
And
came in
that's
with that.
I
This
wish
has
that was a
nothing to
skill.
do with me."
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Yeah,
do
yeah,
you go to your cardiologist and be like, "I don't have plaque in my arteries."
yeah,
You put no, they didn't put the plaque in your arteries. It was there. You walked in, you need a damn stent. I don't know what to tell you.
yeah, yeah, sorry, yeah.
S
I mean,
And then I
everyone
smile, and they don't
ding!
know how to read it, and they're like,
That's
"Huh."
the kill them with kindness, kill them with kindness, see? I
Or
don't know.
salesy. We're salesy, right?
Salesy is another one that I love. I love that, often, or especially if we don't get the backup, and then people are like, "Oh, you think you're smarter than the doctor?
Yeah.
Oh, we are as smart as the doctor. I just want you to know that." And I think just like any mid-level provider, I think we have to try harder, right?
Mhm,
Because just like I'll prefer a nurse practitioner to an MD any day because that person has to try to prove themselves.
mhm,
And as a dental hygienist, an elevated healthcare hygienist, we absolutely know as much because you and I are in like school all the time. We're always training ourselves. We're always taking these certifications. We're always just learning for the sake of learning. Yeah, maybe I don't know how to describe the osteointegration of a ceramic implant into your bone, but I can learn about it. And
yeah,
then if you and I want to talk about it, we can do it.
yeah,
But I mean, I can sit here and talk to you about C-reactive proteins and your gums and your gut health and your all this other stuff.
mhm.
So how is it that we've gotten this far, and then even after years of all of this stuff, and we know this stuff, that we still question our own judgment? even when we know we're right. We
Right.
took the intraoral photo. We know what that looks like. And of course, we're not allowed to diagnose, but it's like, dude, we shouldn't question what we see.
And that's a
Yeah.
whole other topic. We treat periodontal disease, but we can't diagnose it. That's some bullshit. But
Yeah. There's a lot.
don't get me started. But
If
but
this
yeah,
is where people have to be active with their dental boards and their
yeah.
dental hygiene boards. And
Hmm.
I want every dentist who might ever hear this, if you don't like that you have to do something because your hygienist can't do it, you have to fight for it.
Yeah,
You have to change it. It's like, did you know Texas just got their anesthesia? Just got it.
yeah,
It's been around since the 80s in Nevada that we've been allowed to do our own anesthesia. And the only reason that came about was because the dentist didn't want to come in our operatory anymore because we had
yeah,
to take them from here. And so, if you guys remember that the more efficiently we can work, the more money you can make over
yeah,
there, fight for the rights of your hygienists.
yeah.
And everyone listening, please be a part of your
Yeah.
association because ain't nobody going to listen if there's no power behind it.
No.
It's strength in numbers. So,
Like how many what's the percentage of hygienists in Nevada that are part of the ADHA?
we are the second from the bottom in association membership. And I'm on the membership committee for the Nevada Dental Hygiene Association. Shout out Las Vegas chapter. And I sent out a mass email. Our whole committee did about a month ago, and we sent hundreds of emails. We got 10 new members.
Mhm.
And I can't understand.
Yeah.
And one of our one of our really fabulous members, Minette, put together this fact-based timeline of everything that hygienists and hygiene has done. And because everyone goes, well, nobody's doing anything and da, 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 da,
Right.
da. And
But how
so,
are they gonna do anything if no one's there supporting them?
correct. That's exactly right. It's the chicken or the egg situation. So this is where I would like to encourage everybody to participate. And because you're going to find out how much more is being done. Um, and now, I mean, how about that? We can relate this back to even what we're talking about today, that this is a trauma response. How many times have you tried to do something, you got your nose smacked, and you said no? And I think, honestly, a lot of hygienists are functioning in trauma all the time, and we don't know it. From our operatories to our associations, we
Yep.
just go, well, nothing's going to change anyway, so I'm not going to do anything. No,
Yep.
that's a trauma response.
Yeah.
So,
I was just looking too, because I was curious because I know Nevada's really low. I'm like, what's Michigan? Because I just moved here. I don't know what the hell's going on.
mhm.
It's 10 to 15%, which is
Mm,
so low.
it's so sad. Yeah.
And then, you complain about, oh, like the CE courses are bullshit. There's not much of anything going on. Like, where's the people to fight for better CEs?
Yeah. And they are out there, people. They are out there. You
Improving your
just,
scope of practice,
correct.
fighting
Yeah.
for your rights. Like, you have to have people. It's not going to happen miraculously. Like, oh,
Yeah.
there's 3 people out of thousands, and here we are. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
join the ADHA.
Join it. Join it.
Join it.
Join it. Yeah. Yeah.
Ah,
No, see, I'm
passionate.
gonna can I do a shameless plug?
Yes.
So, RDH Mag comes from everyone who is part of the ADHA, and your membership includes RDH Mag or rdhmag.com, so print or I'm
Mhm.
gonna be published in it next month. It's my first print article in
So
RDH Mag,
excited.
and it comes out in June. So, if you aren't a member of the association now, if you want another reason to, it's so you can read from your friend
Yep.
Lauren. So,
Yep.
yay! Anyway,
Ah,
all right,
yep. All
we
right.
got squirrely. Okay, where are we going?
We very get very we yes, we're very squirrely. There you go. Squirrels.
We need like a squirrel emoji to go across real quick. Like, wait, what?
I'm gonna figure that out. Just give me some time.
You have learned so much. You learned how to edit this week. You
Yeah,
spliced a video.
I
Ooh,
did.
girl, you are, you amazing. I
Knock
love
on
it.
wood. Let's keep it
Yeah,
going.
you will. You know why? Because we are learning a new brain pattern. And so your brain is going, you know what? I got this. Because 3 months ago, you didn't got this because you ain't never done it. And now here
Nope.
you are doing it.
Yeah.
So, you know,
Can't be mad at something you don't know how to do if you've never tried.
that's right. You know what? It's like it's Brussels sprouts. Brussels sprouts look and smell gross, but when you eat them and they're prepared right, they are
Mm-hmm.
delicious, people.
Yep.
So don't knock anything until you try it.
Mm-hmm.
So,
But
but what
do
I
you
do
think?
want you to stop doing
Yeah.
is people pleasing and over explaining.
Yes.
What?
All of us, because I think a lot of hygienists are functioning from trauma
Yeah.
responses and they
Yeah.
don't realize it,
Hmm.
but people
Yeah.
pleasing,
People pleasing, over explaining,
fear of authority.
fear of being wrong.
And I feel like a lot of us, because of what we do, we just want everyone to like us.
Yeah.
I
And I
don't
think
care so much, but
sometimes I mean, sometimes we do, right? Because then we don't want them to go upstairs and or next door and complain or whatever. But I think the thing that people don't realize that's also really hard for us with this patient facing thing is that we are always monitoring the situation, right? We're monitoring other people's emotions and we're monitoring ourselves. And
yeah.
so, you know,
And
that's
that's huge because,
yeah.
like we were talking about nervous system regulation, how can we
Hmm.
relax our nervous system when we're
Hmm.
constantly regulating everyone else's
Yeah.
nervous system?
Yeah.
Anxious patient, the
Yeah.
stressed doctor, the doctor who's unaligned, the doctor who won't co diagnose with you, the
Hmm.
overwhelmed assistant, people yelling, frustrated over here. It's like there's so much going on in a dental office that people
Hmm.
do not realize.
No.
There's a lot of toxicity.
There can be. I mean, there can be.
Yes.
That's all people see is the sound of the music and
Yeah.
the cute little white coats and the black scrubs and the messy buns and the cute stuff that we present. And we have this dysfunction that's happening behind the scenes because we're professional and you don't
Hmm.
need to see it. But I would like to express that nobody's regulating us. And so that's why we're talking about
That's
this. So
exactly.
yep, that's why. So I think that's why we started this podcast. Maybe it's our own nervous system
Right.
regulation.
Yeah,
It's all part
seriously.
of this.
Or we're
So
just tired of shrinking ourselves for
yeah,
everyone else.
yeah,
We're there for
yeah,
everyone else, but like you said, no one's there to like help
yeah.
support us.
That, in a moment of honesty, that last week I had a meltdown at my own job. And it's hard. And I feel really frustrated because it's like we have this outlet here and we do all these things, right? We learn, we grow, we have certificates, we have knowledge base, but we're held down, right? We're held down by our board. We're held down by our patients, by our insurance, by our boss, by the name on the door. And that can be really frustrating. And I just I think that that's something we have to really continue to
Hmm.
focus on is I actually caught myself shrinking myself last week. And I had to really like kick my own unhinged box back open and remember who the F I am and what the F I am here to do because I'm here to help these people. It's it doesn't always matter what's happening to me because the gratitude that we get is from our clients.
Yeah.
And even though we have to shrink to fit into the system into the box, I don't want that to apply to how I approach my patients.
Yeah.
And that's where we have to find our happiness right now
Yeah.
until we have kicked these boxes open, until we've changed regulations, and until, somebody gets tired of it.
But I think that, like what you said, it's like us, and there's others out there, healthcare hygienists. I think that's what makes us great because
Yeah.
we do care.
Yeah.
We want to do better.
Yeah.
And it becomes very overwhelming. It's exhausting because you're constantly trying to do better. Because I have moments, and I've told you, like, I want to learn, do more, you know, do myofunctional therapy or do a whole bunch of other different things. But like a lot of times for us, like where we work, it's like, I could take all these courses, but nothing's going to get implemented.
Yeah.
And we need to stop thinking like that because you're not doing anything for the people you're working for. You're doing it for yourself and your growth and what
Agreed.
you bring to the table because whether
Agreed.
they agree with what you're saying or not, oh well, you're here to educate the patient. And I think that's where it becomes exhausting, where you don't have that backup and then you
No,
start shrinking and shrinking. But you need to like, and I think that's where a lot of us burn out. The ones that burn out the most are the ones that care the most.
that's true. Because it does feel frustrating. We feel like we're banging our head against a wall a
Hmm.
lot. But I I encourage all of us to continue to learn because no one can take your knowledge away from
Mm.
you. Nobody can take away your experience. Nobody can take away all of that. And then I believe truly, and I mean, I think we're lucky we live in bigger places. What if it's the one dentist in town? It's the one rural city. It's your Uncle Bob who you promised to work for. Like what happens
Hmm.
if they don't align? But I think that's where something like this can come in, right?
Yeah.
So you and I are in situations where we don't get to do exactly everything we want to do. but at least we can help other people feel something or know that there's options out there or continue to just encourage people to learn anyway. You know
Yeah.
what? I'm going to learn about veterinary dentistry. I'm not going to move into a veterinary clinic, but you know what? I want to know about it.
Yeah.
So, okay, let's do that. But
Or either like biological dentistry, or there's
yeah,
so many different
yeah,
roads you can take,
yeah, absolutely.
you know?
And I mean,
It doesn't
I
even have
think,
to be dental. I could go do a motivational speaking course.
yes,
Just
you,
continue to
hey,
do something that you enjoy and that empowers
yeah,
you.
accountability shout out. Our girl Tasia is going to take some Toastmasters. Wah, wah, wah. You're going to be so good. I and
The thought gives I'm like sweating.
I think it's going to be amazing. You're going to be even better. And you know what? This is going to lead us into our next little topic here about why do we worry about what people think? Because when you
Mm.
get into a Toastmaster situation, because I remember speech class in college when I was just like my kneecaps. Gack, 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 gack. I was the president of the Student Body Association, and I had to give like the graduation speech. I don't even remember being on the stage. I was so nervous, but you have to do it. It's
Yeah,
courage, right? It's learning to do it while you're doing it. And so we don't have to
it's
worry about
true.
what other
I feel
people
like
think because we're doing the
when you
best of
are
us.
on stage, it's like you don't see it's almost you know, I've never spoken on stage, but I want to, and this is probably why I haven't.
This is a
But
stage.
being Greek and at the Greek festivals, I was back in the day. Oh, here we go. The belly dancer.
Oh.
And I remember I was so nervous. But like when you're up there, stop. All you see are lights. Like I saw nobody.
Yeah.
Like I was like in a sheer state of panic.
That's good. You just go through the muscle memory. That's
And
it.
their like, she picked the longest song she could think of. And I remember turning around and I was like, oh my God, make
We're
this
still
end.
dancing.
But yeah, it's
Oh.
you fear being and then that comes from
Yeah.
childhood too. Like I was raised like, what are
Yeah.
people gonna think? Who
Yeah.
cares? Just be
Yeah.
a good person.
I think there's beauty in getting older about that too, right? Like
Yeah.
you hear your 40, 50, 60-year-old friends that they're like, you care less and less, and it's great. So, I
Yeah.
mean, yeah.
Yeah.
But
No.
then there's the professional part of it, right? Like we're worried about people liking us, judging us, you know, whatever.
But does it matter? It's like, what are people gonna think?
Yeah.
No one is gonna listen, no one cares. It's ridiculous. What if the doctor gets offended by what I'm
Oh,
saying?
oh
Or
gosh, yeah. What if
mm,
people see this? Oh, what if other hygienists judge us? I think that's an interesting one right
it
there
is.
because we're worried about our group of
Yep. Yep.
peers. And is that's almost well, and it's the catty, like, women thing, right?
Yeah.
Because that's I remember someone saying that once, we don't dress for our our men, we dress for the other women in the group, right? Because you want somebody to be like, "Oh, look at your shoes. Oh, that purse. Oh, this thing." And we overthink the whole outfit
Yeah.
because we wonder if Susie Q over there is gonna judge us or whatever, and
Yep.
I think we literally overthink everything in our whole life. We overthink this, we overthink that. We've
Everything.
overthought everything.
Yeah. I never
Yeah,
thought of it that way, but yeah, now I could
yeah.
care less. Like 40s is great. You don't
I
care.
love it.
I don't care as much. I'm like, whatever.
No.
This is me. This is what I'm wearing. Obviously, I'm
Yeah.
not roaming the streets in my pajamas, but I do have some standards, guys.
You know,
Now, I did lay in the
yeah.
grass in my pajamas yesterday, but that's a whole
That's
other
in your
thing.
own yard.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
fine.
There's
So
no fence. People can see me. It's fine. I don't care.
I
Let
I
them
think
watch me.
I think that is exactly the whole purpose, right? Like, what if somebody peeped over your fence and said, you know what, that sounds amazing? And
Yeah.
I think that all of this leads us to this whole different line of questioning. What if all of this is helping someone? What if
Hmm.
we are helping people?
Yeah.
And
And that
I mean,
becomes way bigger than anyone's fear.
absolutely.
Our message is going to
Yep.
help someone overcome
Agreed.
something in their lives,
Yeah.
some sort of self doubt that they can
Yeah.
move past,
We're
you know?
we're your peeps. And I think anyone listening right now, if you've been sitting on an idea, if you want to do a course, if you want to do a podcast, you want to start a business, you want a social media page, you want a speaking opportunity, whatever it is, Please stop waiting until you feel qualified enough. Stop waiting until you feel ready
Yeah.
because
Most people are never fully ready.
yeah,
I wasn't fully ready.
no,
And I think sometimes, like, my fear too is it's like, I can do all these things.
yeah,
I can put together a protocol. I can put together a webinar.
mhm,
It's actually executing where I like struggle with. But
yeah.
if you fail once, it's fine. You're going to
And you
learn
learn
from
from
that
that.
experience, and then
Yeah,
it's going to get better and better and better. And
exactly.
no one's going to judge you
Mhm.
more than you're going to judge yourself.
Yeah, that's true. And nobody's going to know the whole struggle of the whole thing anyway. And I think that's the beauty because you become ready while you're doing it.
Yep.
You become an expert. You become the professional. You become it by doing it, right?
Yep. Because if
So
you wait until the self-doubt disappears, good Lord, you're going to be waiting for the rest of your life.
forever and ever. Yeah, we don't want
Because
to
if
doubt.
your
And
brain is wired that way, that's the cycle you're going to be in.
yeah. And it's hard. Listen, it's hard. Like the
Oh,
nerves. And I try to remember that even the professional basketball players, the professional artists, they still get nervous when they go on stage because they care, right?
yeah.
And the goal is not to eliminate fear at all.
No.
You know?
No. The goal is just trust yourself enough to move
Yeah,
anyways.
that's the goal. Do it. Trust
Be
yourself.
consistent. Even if
Yeah.
it's some small steps, you have to start.
Yeah.
And that
That's
could
it.
kind of like turn into
That's the
something
whole
really big that you didn't even know. And then you're going
yeah.
to look back and be like, well, hell, why didn't I start this sooner?
Yeah. Agreed. Hey, I mean, it could be investing in your 401k. It could be the whole like, how do you eat an elephant one bite at a time? I mean, it
Mm,
could be like, as goofy as us, right? Here we are. We started a podcast, right? And why did we start this podcast? I don't know.
oh, no. While simultaneously healing childhood wounds,
I think that's
life
it.
wounds, divorce wounds. There's a lot of wounds we all
That's it. And
have.
managing systems, like we're managing our nervous system by doing this podcast too.
Yeah.
So,
Just going to
yeah.
start humming. Because,
In the tone of C. Is that a C? I don't know. La
I don't
la.
know.
Heh. Yeah.
But, and questioning every life decision. I question everything,
And referring to our AI and our Google to make sure that we're qualified to have these opinions. Like, look at us checking on other people approving our opinions.
right? Why do we
Yeah.
need that?
Yeah.
Why do I need someone else to tell me that I can do it? Why can't I?
You don't. You don't.
Why don't we treat ourselves like someone else that we love? Why don't
Yeah.
we talk to ourselves like someone else
Yeah.
that we love? If we heard ourselves talk the way we do to ourselves to someone else, would we be okay with it?
No, absolutely
I would be
not.
horrified. I'd be like, "You're
Yeah.
an evil person.
Yeah, I'd
Not
be like, "Why are
nice."
you don't talk to me like that." No, and
Yeah.
that's a very good point. I remember somebody saying that before, like, speak to yourself the way you speak to your best friend,
Yeah.
the way you speak to your loved ones,
Yep.
because your brain doesn't know the difference between
No.
this negative self-talk and this thinking thinking, right? Like, it's a whole thing. And, I mean, we're over here trying to heal our inner children with our microphones, but, I mean, I think this is for all goofy purposes and whatever, like, I think
And
it's really great,
yeah.
and we're doing some good stuff here,
Yeah.
and our little Lauren and little Tasias are listening,
Yeah.
and,
And
you know
they're happy.
yeah, they're
But we like
happy.
to heal with sarcasm. You gotta have
It's
some
mostly
fun.
sarcasm. I mean, we do throw in some, like, good truth every once in a while, but it's
Yeah.
definitely
Yeah.
mostly sarcasm. So,
Yeah. Because
don't
at the
judge.
end right? At the end of the day, like, this podcast was never about like, we were never
Yeah,
about pretending we have everything figured out
mm-mm,
because we do not.
no,
Not professionally, not personally,
no,
not I don't know, I'll speak for myself. I don't know about you, Lauren, but I've not figured everything out, and I don't
no,
think you ever really
definitely
do
not.
until
No,
the
but
day
that's
you
why we're here.
die.
We're being
That's
honest
growth.
about it. That's growth. I do
Yeah.
not want to be a dead house plant. I want to
Mhm.
continue to grow. And
Yep.
dude, if I knew everything I was ever going to know now, that would suck.
Yep.
So I think
Yeah.
being, for me, it's so important that you and I are this honest and we talk about everything honestly and
Yeah.
openly.
Because if anyone out there right now is listening and you're sitting on any idea, this right here, this is
Mhm.
your sign.
Hmm? Yeah.
This is it.
Start it. Start it. Use
Do it.
that voice. Take up the space you were always meant to take up
Yep.
because it's you and you
Nope.
deserve to be heard.
Yep. And
Mm,
you are not too much.
Nope.
You're probably just enough for somebody.
You're definitely enough for somebody. And, you know, if anyone ever makes you feel like you're too much, it's because you've become visible in a world that they don't feel comfortable about.
Yeah, that's right.
So don't let someone squash your light.
Do not
Hide it under
shine.
a bush. Oh, no. I'm going to let it shine. Na, 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 na. All right. So,
All
on
right.
that note, this has been Dr.
This
Tasia
is
and Dr. Lauren. I feel like what it Frasier, right? Like, thank you for calling in. This has been
but
your mental health hour with
yes.
the Unhinged Hygienists.
But if there's anything that you guys are working towards, we would love to hear about it. If
Yeah,
you have a
sure.
story you want to share, please reach
Yep,
out to us. You
absolutely.
know, we are on Spotify, YouTube, Apple, Amazon. You can follow us at
All the
Instagram at
platforms.
Unhinged Hygienist. You can send us messages. Reach out to Lauren at themyocoach.com if you can refer to her, all the good things. But
Mhm.
we thank you for listening, and we hope that we have empowered you in some way to move towards your goals, whether
Whoop,
small
whoop.
or big. It doesn't matter.
Move forward. That's it. Take the small step, believe in yourself. And if you need help from your aunties over here, hit us up on the Unhinged
That's
Hygienist.
it.
Okay.
See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
I'm not moving.
But you're talking.